I guess it could seem kind of negative that a lot of the funny stories that I have come from substance abuse. But right now, I mean, I don't think it's had that negative of an effect on my life, and it's really caused some crazy things to happen. And I guess the whole reason I made that choice to begin with was a little bit because of my upbringing. You know, I have some memories that I would think are funny that I'll tell you about. For instance, when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I wake up one day, I go to the bathroom to use the bathroom, and my dad is passed out drunk on the bathroom floor, and his head is like up against the toilet. So in order for me to go to the bathroom, I have to like straddle his head, like his head is right here looking up at me, and I'm just taking a pee. And you know, little kids aren't hitting every drop in the bowl, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that last couple of drops landed right on his forehead, so give me a ride. So I'm in the same clothes from the night before I go, and my aunt gives me a ride to work. I get to work, and the phone's ringing off the hook. I pick it up. It's my DM asking what happened, and I told him, like, I stayed over at a friend's house, and they forgot to wake me up. And he's just like, oh, those bums, you know, he didn't mind so much. And my manager got there like 2 minutes after I got there, and up until this time, I have not looked in a mirror yet. I've not seen myself. And he looks at me, and he just starts cracking up, and he's like, dude, why is there blood coming out of your ear? And why are there leaves in your hair? And I'm like, what? No. And I go and look in the mirror, and my hair is like, you know, real puffed up like Bride of Frankenstein. All kinds of crusty old leaves in it because it was like fall. And yeah, like there's blood coming out of my ear, dripping down the side of my face. And the thing that really tripped me out about it is my mom and my aunt never said, you know, maybe you want to clean up before you go to work. They're just like, fine, this will show you. They send me to work like that. So my manager, he was cool about it because he was like a guy my age, and all he said was that it made him feel like drinking. What happened? You know, why didn't you guys wake me up for work? And they told me, you know, I drank the 40 ounce, and then I started just drinking cups of tequila, slamming them down, and I was getting all rowdy, like I stopped talking and stuff. Like I was still talking, but I wasn't even saying words. I was just like rah 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 rah, just speaking gibberish. And like at some point, they talked me into putting on his uncle's motorcycle helmet and letting him kick me in the head, like to test the durability of it. And when they told me that, I started having like little vignettes of memory. Like I could remember myself on all fours with this motorcycle helmet on, and them like running across the floor and giving me big boots. And I'm like, oh my God, no, no, why? And eventually I decided I'm gonna leave, you know, because I have work the next day. And they just hear me being all loud and stuff. And they go out in the backyard, and I had fallen down and rolled under. His dad had this trailer out in his backyard for hauling snowmobiles, and I rolled under there, and they're like, oh my God. So they try and wake me up, and they wake me up, and I sit up real fast and smack my head underneath the trailer so hard that I fall right back asleep. And they kept waking me up. You know, they did this like 3 or 4 times where I wake up and smack my head so hard that I pass right back out. And like at this point I'm thinking, man, I'm still alive. Thank you, God. Like, so they finally get me out from under there, and I stand up, and I put a cigarette in my mouth and light it, and pass right back out. And my brother is like, oh God, and he tries to pull the cigarette out of my mouth, and I clamp my teeth down on it, and he still tries to pull it out of my mouth. So I bite the filter off and eat it. And then they said I just started shaking. No, they tried to wake me up with water. That's why I was shaking. I forgot they tried to wake me up by splashing water at me, and it was like 45 degrees outside. So, you know, after a couple minutes of sitting in that, I started shaking. And finally they decide, man, we got to get this guy in the house. So one of them takes my arms and one of them takes my legs. But then I was probably like 230 or something like that. And they kept dropping me on the cement. Like... And then they finally got me in the door, and that's all they did. They got me in the screen door and just left me in the hallway and put an alarm clock by my head. And I guess at some point in the night I wandered down the stairs, but I'm just like, man, way to take care of a drunk, guys. Way to look out for me.
Before I met her, all I needed was
offend people, and it probably will offend anybody who hears it, but I guess that's kind of like... I had this special teddy bear when I was a little kid. Like, when I was little, I was really into panda bears, and I just had this one that I really, really liked. And my godfather's brother was over there, and he was hitting the bong, and he tips it over on my teddy bear, and I'm freaking out, man. Like, there's this rancid bong water all over my teddy bear. You know, I'm like a very small child, and I'm freaking out, and this guy's all huge and burly. He's got like a panther tattoo crawling up his huge bicep and stuff. He's like, looks like one of the big guys on Ren and Stimpy or something, you know, like a caricature of a huge guy, and he's just like, oh, did I spill bong water on Teddy? Everybody's laughing at me. I'm just like, wow, man. Yeah, you spilled bong water on Teddy. It fucking sucks. Last one from when I was a little kid is about just my dad's style. Like, swear to God, the man's balls were always hanging out. Like, I don't, like, when I was a little kid, he was only in his 20s, but he just seemed to have some really long balls, and he never wore underwear, so we would always be out in public. And I'm saying out in public this would be happening. We'd be like in a gas station or something, and he always wore shorts that were super cut off. Like, his jean shorts were like a pair of briefs. The pockets would be hanging out the sides and stuff, and we're walking around in the store, and yeah, his junk's just like flopping up against his thigh.
Don't trust a bitch that's